Greetings and welcome everybody. It's So Far So Good Reborn versus DNA Gamers for the ESL India Premiership, brought to you by Nordwind Gaming. I'm CloudX, going to be solo casting this match for you this fine evening, as Lion will be first pick on the Dire side and Earth Spirit and the Puck will be removed. DNA Gamers, they've opted to remove the Bounty Hunter and the Invoker. Let's see what they'll go with their first pick. They'll start with the Phoenix. So rapid fire drafts coming out, very little reserve time being utilized by both sides, both teams, with a good 1 minute and 55 and 210 seconds, 210 minutes respectively. DNA Gamers, what did they go with here? For those of you wondering, this is a best of one knockout, which means that one of these two teams will unfortunately end their journey in the first starter cup of the ESL India Premiership. DNA Gamers, 2 minutes on the clock, now dipping into their reserve time. What do they go with as their second pick? They've got the opportunity to pick up possibly a strong middle laner or a core for now. They'll go with the Slaughter, so that throws some more light on where this Phoenix is going and where the Slaughter is going. I think it's fairly obvious that we're going to see an off-lane Slaughter now and a Phoenix in the support role, while Lion quite certainly going to be supporting in, well, on the Dire side. What do they go with as their second pickup here? There's still plenty in the pool, really, and I think this is one of those moments where you want to grab your core early. The Slark seems like a good pick. The Juggernaut might work as well. But that said, the amp damage from the Slaughter does seem to be an answer to both the Slark and the Juggernaut to a certain extent. Armor reduction versus the physical DPS on... armor reduction versus the magic immunity on that Juggernaut to dish out additional physical DPS. You'll also have the amp damage versus a Slark, if that was going to be the pick, who would usually get a Shadow Blade into a Silver Edge, but nope, it looks like So Far So Good Reborn. They're going to go with the Alchemist this game as their second pick. Now it remains to be seen whether this is going to be a mid Alchemist or whether it's going to be a safe lane carry farming Alchemist. It seems like either would be a good pick. Although I am a bit more of a fan of that mid Alchemist here, especially now that So Far So Good Reborn has the opportunity to ban out heroes that could basically shut him down. I'm thinking the Queen of Pain could be a ban here. Windranger has actually been banned out by DNA, so they're not expecting this to be a mid Alchemist after all. They'll ban the Ancient Apparition, so the tried and tested pub game counter to the Alchemist will now be removed. So Far So Good Reborn. What do they go with as their third pick? But for now, there's bans on the board. DNA Gamers, if they're still looking to ban out mid heroes, assuming that's a safe lane Alchemist. No, they're actually going to ban the Juggernaut. So this is a bit confusing now, because they first ban out a mid laner in the form of the Windranger, which means they're expecting Alchemist to go safe lane. But then in the next ban, they'll ban out the Juggernaut, saying, no, scratch that. We think the Alchemist is going mid after all, so let's ban carries instead. A little confusing coming out from them. But that said, with the Ancient Apparition banned out, having that healing ward as another source of regeneration in addition to that chemical rage on the Alchemist might have been very painful to deal with in team fights. Fourth ban on the board here for So Far So Good Reborn. They're taking their time thinking this through. A full minute and 30 seconds on the clock to take a decision for them. Now ban the Death Prophet, so they are still expecting the middle laner to be picked up. So Quap would have been a good ban as well, but I think Death Prophet works as well, yeah. The Spirit Siphon versus the Alchemist, not too shabby. Death Prophet now with that Spirit Siphon, one of those heroes that just decimates melee mid heroes, and Alchemist is no exception to that rule, really. What do they go with as the third pick here now? They're gonna need something that can make often rotations towards that middle lane. I mean, shutting down the Alchemist solo by a Queen of Pain is okay. The Lina could be an option as well for DNA Gamers if they choose to go that route. But it's always better when you have someone to rotate in. And there we go. It's gonna be the Earthshaker as the third pick. So we should see this Earthshaker making movements towards mid. At least that would be the right thing to do. For two reasons really. One, to try and get kills on the Alchemist. And two, to help keep their own middle laner alive. Assuming that Lion will be making rotations towards mid as well. What does DNA Gamers go with as their fourth pick? We'll find out soon enough. But it's third pick now for So Far So Good Reborn. They still need 2 supports and a core. Well, scratch that. They actually need 1 support and 2 cores. A middle laner and an off laner, unless that's a mid alchemist, in which case they need a carry. But an off laner is something that they will still need. As far as options go for the off lane, there's plenty still in the pool. The Darkseer, even the Nature's Prophet, if they want to go with that direction. What else could they go for? Timbersaw perhaps. There's double strength, actually 3 strengths. Phoenix is the strength hero, by the way. Probably one of 2. Yeah, I think there's only 2 ranged strength heroes in the game, Huskar and Phoenix. No, scratch that. There's Wisp as well, so there's 3 strength heroes. So Phoenix is one of those. And as are the Slaughter and the Earthshaker. While Earthshaker is usually built as an intelligence hero with arcane boots and a few more mana items and mobility items, he is at the very core of it all a strength hero. So the Timbersaw wouldn't be a bad choice really. But it'll be the Tidehunter. That'll be the off-lane pick for So Far So Good Reborn, but I'm not too convinced by this. Tidehunter, while he's going to have the Kraken Shell to shrug off the stun from a support Earthshaker, he could still be blocked in by a well-placed Fissure, and he's really got no way to deal with the pure damage and the HP, the percentage HP reduction from the Phoenix's Sunray, which works really well versus the Tide. So it's going to be a scary lane for the Tidehunter to be in. He'll have to move into the jungle very often and very soon, stacking those Ancients for himself as well. But for DNA Gamers, I do like their draft as of now. It looks like they've got the tools needed to shut down that Alchemist lineup early on. And if they can keep the Tide's Blink Dagger away for a long time, we could see them grouping up early and applying pressure on the outer towers. 47 seconds on the reserve clock, now ticking down for DNA Gamers to pick up their 4th pick. They'll get the Lifestealer, another hero that's great versus multiple strength heroes because of the Feast percentage damage. So I believe Feast does damage and Lifesteal based on a percentage of the target's current health. So it's the first few hits on the Alchemist that'll really do the most damage, and then the percentage damage reduces as the Alchemist's current HP reduces as well. So they've got tools to bring down the Alchemist and the Tidehunter this game, but at the same time the Anchor Smash will work well versus the Lifestealers, Lifestealer in the bottom lane. Oracle will be the 4th pickup though from So Far So Good. So now they've got that added bit of survivability to throw onto the Alchemist. And now suddenly their lineup is looking a hell of a lot stronger, I have to say. So they've got that survivability with the Oracle, the False Promise to help kite around the Lifestealer. If the Lifestealer is not in range, they'll also be able to disarm him. And of course, the Purifying Flames for the burst damage. Both lineups looking very evenly contested here. What does So Far So Good go with as their last pickup? DNA Gamers are on a clock, you've got to remember, so they'll still be looking to pick up something that works well in the early game and something that works well versus the Alchemist at mid. But So Far So Good. Yeah, there we go. They're going to ban the Queen of Pain. So we now know that this is more than likely going to be a mid Alchemist. And they should be looking to pick up their last and final pick, which should be a core for the safe lane carry role. How does DNA respond to this now? I mean, assuming that they get something like the Slark in the hands of SFSOG, their lineup is going to be very difficult to bring down. With the Oracle and the Lion keeping the safe lane carry alive as well. It's going to be a hard off lane for that Slaughter as well. There's plenty of lockdowns with the Fortune's End, the Earth Spike, and the Hex from the Lion. And that Slaughter should be in for a rough and bumpy ride in the off lane. Ooh, we're gonna see a Phantom Assassin pick. So Eternal Envy fans in the house here, as the Storm Spirit will be the final pick up from DNA Gamers. Yeah, I'm not convinced about this Storm Spirit pick. I feel like Alchemist can do just fine versus the Storm in the lane. Storm really can't stand around. Oh, apologies guys, looks like I messed up my mic a bit there. But yeah, like I was saying, I don't think the Storm can really stand around in the Acid Spray to try and get those Overload hits off, along with the Static Remnants placed down. And as the Alchemist gets more and more levels, he's just going to be able to push out the creep wave a lot more efficiently than the Storm. And that'll put him in a bit of a bind here. While Phantom Assassin, there's really no way to burn through the evasion of the PA right now. There's no burst damage either, which means MKBs, Silver Edges, or maybe even the Rod of Atos will be a must on the side of DNA Gamers. But there's just no ideal natural MKB or Rod of Atos carriers here on the Radiant side. So as we have a pause coming out here, we'll jump into the game with DNA Gamers on the Radiant and SFSOGR on the Dire. Let's start with the introductions then. Lifestealer will be played by Afterlife. You've got Shockwave playing the Storm Spirit. Chucky, he's gonna handle the Slaughter. Daigawu on the Phoenix, and K will be playing the Earthshaker. SFSOG, a long name indeed. Frozen playing the Tidehunter. You've got Easy Red Days on the Oracle. No one will be playing the Alchemist. Neon is back, or anyone is back, I'm not sure how that's pronounced, on the Lion, and Zipper will be playing the Phantom Assassin. So theoretically, I'd say I prefer the Dire lineup here. I feel like they've got tools needed to get the Alchemist that much needed farm and snowball start. I think he's gonna have a fine time in the middle lane, and top lane's gonna be hard for the Slaughter to sit around in as well. So DNA, the one lane that they'll have going for themselves is the bottom lane versus the Tidehunter, but with the Anchor Smash he should be able to deal with the Lifestealer and keep him at bay, and all the while we should be looking at him moving into the jungle to farm the Ancients as well as the neutral creep camp up here. Right, we're not sure what this pause is about, but okay, they're gonna take a minute here. But for those of you just tuning in, it's the ESL India Premiership, brought to you by Nordwind Gaming. 42 lakhs, rupees 42 lakhs up for grabs over 7 to 8 months of Dota 2, CSGO, Hearthstone, and Just Dance. The early game advantage though definitely lies in favor of SFSOG here, but the mid game, if this Lara can somehow manage to find himself that Blink Dagger on time, we should see DNA getting aggressive and looking to make plays. Well, looks like they're all just going to use this time to go to the washroom. Really, there's a good 15 to 20 minutes of draft time where you can consider doing all of this, but nope. We must pause immediately after the game loads in. There we go. They're done with their business. Nature's call has been attended, and this game will be getting underway. Alright, let's have a look at who's going where. You've got 2 tangos being pulled to the Alchemist. He started with the Quelling Blade and a Stout Shield, even a Salve for good measure. So he is not looking to let go of that middle lane easy. Zippo's actually started with the Stout Shield and a lot of consumables. He'll be going towards the safe lane, I'd assume. While the Lion, he's actually started with Boots, so they want to play aggressively with this Lion early on. And they want to give him the tools needed to kite around Chucky and get this auto attacks in to zone him out. Chucky's actually started with the Iron Talon recipe, so he's got no intentions of sticking around on this top lane for too long. We should see him bailing on this lane as soon as he gets zoned out a bit by the Oracle and the Lion. Oracle's walking around with the wards for his teammates. I believe he's pulled one over to the Tidehunter, who's already dropped it down here in the bottom lane. So that should give him vision of the sidelines without actually blocking the neutral camp, so dewarding it might be a little more difficult. But considering there's no sentry wards on the side of DNA, I don't think that ward's going to be dewarded, and that'll give Tidehunter free reign of this bottom lane, and he really shouldn't die. Standard start for both sides. Bounty runes will be picked up by both middle laners. The Greevil's Greed though will allow SFSOG to pull slightly ahead here in terms of net worth. The graphs will take a while to reflect that. As Shockwave, he'll be able to call out a salve if he chooses to. He's definitely going to need more consumables than just 2 pool tangos up against the Alchemist. Top lane, Slaughter, does he have? No, yeah, he's actually got the Observer Ward on him, so he hasn't placed it just yet. And Lion's gonna scout that out right about now, along with the Oracle. So they know their camp hasn't been blocked. The right thing for Easy Red Days to do would be to move back and stack this at the 51 or 52 second mark. Another pause coming out here from Afterlife. I believe they're having issues with their connections or their PCs, hopefully. These issues will be resolved shortly. Alright, the go call comes out. This game is going to get back underway. Lion actually ends up taking a hit from that tier 1 tower as well. So really getting aggressive, trying to zone out that Slaughter. But it's working for now. Chucky hasn't got a single point of EXP as this game gets started. The creep though, it's gonna move behind the Lion, and that'll disrupt the creep equilibrium a little bit. But PA is doing a good job of controlling it so far. There's 2 range creeps for the Slaughter now, which means that the lane should start pushing towards the Dire tier 1 tower. Chucky whiffs on the crush. The boots working wonders there for the Lion. He's got a little bit of EXP, but this is not gonna help him too much. Just 45 EXP out for now, and his level 2 is looking like a pipe dream. Meanwhile, Frozen, he's doing a lot better. He's even managed to pull the creep wave now to the side, and oh, he's actually missed on the pull. So just a couple of creeps moving aside. That actually works out for him because there's a massive creep wave pushing in towards his tier 1 tower, as the supports on the side of DNA have smoked and are looking for a rotation on this Alchemist. So we spoke about how they're going to need to make plays on him early on. The question is, does the Alchemist get caught out now? Because he's actually called out a soul ring already for himself, and he's gone to work trying to stack these camps. Shaker and Phoenix, less susceptible to these ganks now. Storm Spirit, he's up to level 4. But again, the creep wave is going to come back to the Dire tier 1 tower, which means that the Alchemist will be able to even the odds. While the Oracle and the Lion will go to work stacking up the camps for the Alch later on. Alright, so Frozen, he's still going to work here on the Life Sealer. He's got a good 11 CS on this Tidehunter, 18 on the Life Sealer, so he's actually keeping pace with him. Life Sealer not able to do too much with that Anchor Smash constantly being spammed on him. I'd have expected Life Sealer to get himself a Magic Stick this game. But here comes the Earthshaker with the haste. They'll drop down a Fissure, they'll stun up Frozen a bit as well, and with that Sun Ray, they're burning him down to a crisp. The open wounds were already used. Frozen trying to make a run for it around. A body block attempted there by K, but Tidehunter is just way too tanky at this point. And with the boots, he's got the mobility to get away as well. So he's not going to die. He'll dodge a bullet there. And he'll wrap around once again, coming back into the lane. He's even got a salve, a mango, and that last tango to help him regenerate up. So the smart thing to do here is to wait, stack up the Ancients once, and then move back into the lane, because the creep wave is quite far out anyway. Just the 1 kill so far. DNA doing okay for now, but they're going to start falling behind in terms of farm. The longer this game stays passive, the more that Alchemist begins to benefit. He's up to 23 CS. He is out CSing the Storm Spirit despite having a death added to his name. And I'd still say that the Dire side are winning all 3 lanes at this point. Afterlife, he's doing what he can to catch up in terms of farm here. He's opted to get the Blightstone early on. He's holding on to 1500 gold this game. I wonder if he's actually going to go back for the Midas to try and out-farm that Alchemist. But that's really a tall order. Again, it seems like there's been a single pull coming out from the Radiant side. Not what they want up against the Tidehunter, who's already getting way too much in this lane. Phoenix is trying to wrap around here just to try and harass and zone out this Tide. But the safe thing to do for the Tide is to just stick around, wait for this wave to come into his tower, and it's free EXP and possibly even level 6 on the back of this. Meanwhile, Chucky, there's a creep wave at his tower as well, so he's getting some good EXP now as well. So he's up to level 5. He's getting close to level 6 himself, while Frozen, he's gonna have the Ravage online first by the looks of it. He's also managed to finish up the Arcane Boots. So that is one fairly farmed up Tidehunter. While Storm Spirit, he's gonna move into the jungle to scout out some stacks. The question is, can he manage to claim them for himself? He's just got 2 points in the Static Remnant, so he doesn't have enough firepower to bring it down at this moment. Meanwhile, Oracle, he's sticking around at mid, expecting a gank on this Alchemist. They're prepped to make a counterplay here, as Storm's gonna come in from behind. He'll zip forward. The Sunray is available as well, but so is the Chemical Rage. They'll fisher him as well, holding him in position, trying to do what they can, but here comes the Oracle. The Earth Spike from the line will miss, but the Fortune's End will connect. Well, Shockwave will be kept behind, so Alchemist stays alive again. The rotations have been baited out from both sides, but I think that works in favor of SOG. Slaughter, how is he looking? He's almost at level 6, Tidehunter. He's got the Ravage online now, should he choose to make a play on either of these lanes. He needs to buy a TP though. I do sense an opportunity coming towards that middle lane, because Shockwave, he's trying to get these neutrals taken down. They'll definitely steal these stacks with the Sunray and the Fisher. Lots of mana and HP committed for it, but it will slow down the Alchemist a little bit. But there's still one more camp here that the Alchemist has already gone to work on. So no one will continue to stay ahead in terms of net worth. Now finishing up the armlet as well in just a bit. We've not looked at the PA for long now. 51 CS on her. Free farming this top lane pretty much. And she's got a good 3400 net worth in the bank as well. So a lot's been committed to shut down the Alchemist. Now they'll try and bring down the Phantom Assassin as well. But Zippo, he's too far out to be caught off here. Well, bottom lane, look at this, Frozen. He's just zoning out the Life Stealer by himself. He does have the Ravage at the ready if things go awry for him. And Storm Spirit, he's going to be able to find that Arcane Rune for himself. Oracle will use this time at mid to soak up that bonus bit of EXP, while Alchemist continues to go nuts in the jungle. With 3 points in the Grievel's Greed now. Those tiny creeps, the Mud Golems and the Wolves will definitely help him gain some more farm. Chucky though, he's gonna drop here. The Sunray keeping him alive just a little longer, but it's not long enough, as Zippo will slice him to bits. So the scoreline still sitting at just 1-for-1. Scratch that, it becomes 2-for-1 as Tide finds a solo kill on the Life Stealer. Didn't really see that coming, especially not under the tier 1 tower there. But the Ravage was expended for it, but a worthy expend indeed. No real opportunity to kill off the Storm Spirit without the Lion. In fact, Storm is going back in. They'll drop a Fisher going in on red days, but he's been, well, he's going to be magic immune for now. Fate Bolt will cast Shockwave on the bottom of it. He now has the Arcane Rune available as well, so he's continuing this pressure on. He's looking for the kill on the Lion. He'll pull him back in, zips forward, gets the kill after all. And Storm Spirit's got a little more mana to work with. He's going forward onto red days. He did have a magic stick. Shockwave gets stunned and taken down here. No real stun, just the Fate Bolt, or rather the Fortune's End, holding him in position while the PA comes in and finishes the job. That was not worth it for DNA Gamers. They ended up trading their Storm Spirit for a Lion, while Alchemist continues to do his thing at mid. And Tidehunter continues to muscle out the Life Stealer from this bottom lane. Tidehunter is opting to get the mech this game, a smart choice indeed. As opposed to rushing that Blink Dagger, he'll just be adding to the survivability of his teammates. And if this continues onwards, I fear for DNA Gamers' potential to bring down that Alchemist at all in the entire game here. Afterlife, he wants to go in on Frozen here. He'll start with the open wounds. He does have the Anchor Smash. He gets used but shrugged off with the Rage. Frozen still not gonna be brought down. This guy is just tanky as hell with the Buckler armor adding on to his Kraken Shell. He just stays alive through it all. Backs away into the jungle, pops a salve, and carries on with life. Well, K, he's eventually going to be looking to get that Blink Dagger online, but as a support, He's not in the best position to make those kind of demands. He can't ask the Phoenix to pop those wards for his team at the moment. I do believe Phoenix will be rushing the Midas eventually, just to get that added bit of EXP and those levels on the Supernova. Zippo. What's he looking at? He's got 1800 gold in the bank. Does he go for a Battle Fury this game? I do think he does, but bottom frozen. He's gonna get burnt again to a crisp. He's trying to make a run for it. False Promise keeps him alive. Ravage connects on 3. He's still alive through this all, and with the Kraken Shell and the Gush, he gets the first kill. Big Earth Spike coming out from the line. Frozen still alive! No! That shouldn't be happening. Afterlife's gonna go down. He got disarmed, but he does manage to infest into a dire creep and stays alive for now. Clutch plays coming out there from the Oracle, keeping the Tidehunter alive, allowing them to turn that around in style. So both the Phoenix and the Earthshaker go down on the back of a well-meant attempt there on the Tide. Rotations from SFSOG just working in their favor, really. And again, space has been created for the Alchemist and the PA to continue farming, as they'll continue to lead the net worth charts. No one. He's getting awfully close to that Radiance now. Well, Chucky was forced off the lane for that bottom lane as well. His Blink Dagger timing will be delayed a bit by that. Alchemist, he'll get the concoctions done. Everything has been done to secure that bounty rune there. And it's well worth it as well. That'll be his relic picked up. And he's well on track for a sub 15-minute Radiance here. He's farming fairly efficiently, I have to say. Just the positioning on that acid spray, not the most ideal. So the good thing about Alchemist now, or the reason why Alchemist is one of the most efficient jungle farmers this patch, is previously creeps didn't have magic damage resistance, but I believe the latest patch, or one of the latest few patches, has enabled them to be resistant to magic damage. But Alchemist Acid Spray, as most of us already know, is physical damage, which allows them to clear up camps in a jiffy. And the fact that neutrals like the Mud Golem spawn multiple versions of themselves and are fairly easy to bring down as well, means that he benefits all the more from that Greevil's Greed. So, no one and SFSOG, they've done their homework, picking up that Alchemist early on. And it's now starting to pay off for them with a 9,200 net worth lead for him. Frozen though, at bottom gets crushed, but he's going to TP out to safety. Very smart play coming out from him. He'll stay alive, and now with that, he'll finish up the mechanism. DNA though, they're really trying hard to get these kills. They're making the right moves as well, but it looks like SFSOG are just one step ahead of them every single time. It's 5 for 2 now, 13 minutes into this game. Alchemist, he's got the Radiance finished up. It's flying out to him on the Courier, and he's starting to pummel away on the tier 1 at mid. But it looks like Shockwave and co are going to try and defend this. You've actually got Chucky coming in. He's going to get stunned up twice. Once with the Earth Spike, once with the Concoction, as Alchemist will even find himself the kill with the Armlet auto attack damage and that Radiance burn. Tier 1 tower is going to go down. There's no fortification available now to keep it alive. That's a lot more money going in towards the Alchemist's hands, and not money that really should be given away towards them. DNA Gamerz, the lack of TP scrolls here is starting to hurt them a bit. K was a bit too low on HP to make a play like that, so he's forced back to the base. Well, Frozen continues to do his thing at bottom. There's no way that the Lifestealer kills him anymore. Despite having the Armlet and the Blightstone, there's a mech finished up on the Tidehunter, and he's got 3 points in the Kraken Shell and 4 in the Anchor Smash, which means that the Lifestealer is almost never going to be able to bring him down by himself. Top lane, space was created. The Phantom Assassin will get herself a tier 1 tower. She's up to go for the Vanguard first, adding another layer of survivability to her and allowing her to eventually build in towards the Abyssal Blade. Well, Alchemist will get his next new toy, aka the Boots of Travels. Frozen, meanwhile, he's gone to work now. That yummy buffet of ancient stacks is now being cleaned up by him. With that, heck, he's gonna have a Blink Dagger and a Mechanism with Arcane Boots in the time that Tidehunters usually struggle to just get the dagger. He's been scouted out though. Shockwave's thinking of going in along with Afterlife. They're moving in. Frozen sees this. He's popped the arcane boots. He does have the mech available. He uses the anchor smash. Sunray's coming through as well. He'll mech himself up. He's still alive. Ravage is available. Will it be expended? He's thinking of it. He's not dropped it just yet. Now he catches 3. Shockwave's the only one that didn't get caught frozen. He'll go down eventually. Supernova gets baited out by the Phoenix as well. It's being used in the backlines. Echo Slam comes through, but no one will get the kill with the Radiance Burn on the Earthshaker. Now Afterlife trying to keep himself alive, life stealing through whatever he can, but he'll be brought down. It's a double kill for the Alchemist now, as it looks like the Hex will be enough to bring down the Phoenix as well. It's a 4-for-1 exchange in favor of SFS OG, and it could even be more, as the Concoction Stun will follow the Storm Spirit as he zips further out. But he's too far close to his own tier 2 tower, and that'll deter the initiation from no one. But again, a big victory there for the Dire side. They managed to clean up most of those Ancients. They've managed to kill off 4 heroes on the side of DNA, and all they sacrificed there was a Tidehunter, who's anyway going to have his Blink Dagger in no time now. And I mean, what's worse is they ended up giving so much money to the Alchemist again, and even the Phantom Assassin came in for that fight, so she got some more money in EXP as well. Bottom lane, Shockwave, he's got a Life Stealer infested into him. They'll use that along with the Zip to try and bring down the Lion. Lion gets the Hex off on Shockwave. Concoction Stun will channel up and thrown out as well. It's the level 3 stun. So Shockwave could be going down here with the Purifying Flame burst damage. They will bring him down. Now no one's in trouble. The Sunray is doing damage. Afterlife's been disarmed though by the Fate's Edict. No one can get away from this. He's going to be able to armlet toggle just once perhaps. He's going to get stunned up for now. The Concoction gets thrown out. He's not toggled the armlet just yet, but he gets mech'd up by the Tide, and Afterlife will be brought down. It's a double kill for Zipper, who came into the fray, brought down the Life Stealer as well as the Phoenix, while Earthshaker went down to the Tidehunter. And again, a clutch team fight taken away there by SFSOG. While DNA have been left reeling under the blows delivered by the Alchemist and the Phantom Assassin. Zippo and no one will be able to bring down this tier 1 tower now quite comfortably. So no one. He's just gone completely out of control at this point, but we're seeing new items being picked up by both sides. A Blink Dagger finally finished up on the Slaughter. Better late than never now, as they'll have a tool to start the fights on their own terms. But at the same time, we've got a Dagger finished up on Frozen's Tidehunter, who's already a complete monster at this point. Not very often that you get to see Tidehunter's third on the net worth chart just 18 minutes in. He's at 3, 1 and 5, and the fact that he's managed to solo kill the Life Stealer in the lane at least once means that they've slowed down the course progression on the side of DNA quite a bit. There's no real rush here for SFSOG. They can take this game as late as they possibly like. However, the Abyssal Blade is now going to be finished up on Zippo. His Phantom Assassin is looking very threatening at this point. It's the calm before the storm as always. No one. He's got the Assault Cuirass as well. He's getting really close to getting maxed out here, and it's extremely early in this game as well, just 19 minutes in. Lion's on the hunt. He's getting closer to his Ethel Lens as well. He's a little bit of money away from it. This does seem like one of those games where the Ethel Lens would benefit him more than the Blink Dagger for initiations. Having that range while being able to stay on the periphery of the team fights to just hex up the Storm Spirit as he zips in, it does seem like the way to go. They'll pop a smoke now, and they will be looking to make a play. Well, it's actually both sides smoking up. No scans have been used, so they don't know each other's positions, but they're going to find out very soon. This could be a big Ravage coming out from the Tide. They see them frozen. Doesn't blink in. He gets initiated upon instead. Phoenix jumps forward, gets the Supernova off. The Ravage connects. It manages to bring down just the Earthshaker, but the Phoenix Supernova egg will be cracked open as well. Well, Life Stealer is now on the run. Will he get too far though is the question. He does have the infest available. Storm Spirit comes in, allows the Life Stealer to infest into him. No one. He's got the concoction being channeled up, but won't be able to find the range to bring anyone down. Ends up stunning himself as the tier 2 tower looks like it's going to be brought down now by SFSOG. Tidehunter even being healed up by his teammates, and without the Ravage, it looks like they're going to back away for now. 16-4. This game is slowly but surely starting to get completely out of hand here for DNA. That's 18,000 net worth on the Alchemist. He's at 870 GPM. Look at the Storm Spirit, the only one that's actually really farmed on the side of DNA. Well, it's the Storm Spirit and the Life Stealer. They're both less than half the net worth of the Alchemist. And if things go as they've been going so far, Alchemist is going to be 3 times their net worth in no time. Aegis even being claimed here by the Phantom Assassin, so she's not going down either. Ethelen's finished up on the line, and Alchemist moves himself up top, continues to farm while he's actually picked up the Vitality booster. So I'm wondering if this is going to be a Heart or maybe a Vanguard into an Abyssal Blade for him, or possibly just the tried and tested Octarine core, which does seem like the more viable route. 21 minutes in, and in fact it looks like SFSOG actually has the tools needed to go up onto the high ground. Once the Ravage comes back off cooldown, they'll even have a Vlad's finished up for this Tidehunter. So they are looking to go for the early finish here. But there's still a few more structures that they'll have to bring down before they can threaten high ground. Ancient stacks even been stolen away here. Not really sure why there were stacks prepped on the Radiant side anyway. It's not like they've got heroes that can bring down stacks of Ancients quickly. Life Sealer, oh, he actually opted to go for the Shadow Blade here. I can't say I'm in complete agreement with this pickup. I feel like he's just gonna need to soak the tank up and get as much DPS as he possibly can, relying on the Infest into this Storm Spirit for initiations. Having that Shadow Blade, it'll make him a little more mobile and a bit more survivable, but is it really necessary at this point when you've got the zip to start the fight? SFSOG is still content at getting some farm for now. With that Abyssal Blade on Zippo and another 3,000 gold in the bank, he's kept the Courier at the secret shop, but Infest has been used here.